Mini episode 1615 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by Sportsology, delivering unconventional columns and webcasts about sports, TV, music, movies, and more. Follow them on the web at sportsology.com.
The FDH Lounge. You'll want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Welcome to mini episode 1615 of the FDH Lounge. This is FDH Managing Partner Rick Morris here with our preview of Succession episode 4.8. Here's our top 5 notes of interest as we approach the end game. Number 5. Khan decides to ride with the Khan heads through Election Day. Roman was unable to talk Big Brother into taking Menken's ambassador job bribe to get out of the race, and he then grew upset enough to insult somebody who was more of a paternal figure to him than Logan. But Khan stuck to his guns, deciding to listen to his wife with no air quotes, because her advice made sense. Connor may actually be the spoiler in the presidential race, and apparently we'll find out this week. Number 4. Characters on the margins are starting to become more important. Greg used his Grim Reaper duties at 8 p.m. to impress Matsson, and he's already in tight with both Tom and now once again Kendall. Ebba got pushed far enough to leak Matsson's fraud to Kendall. Jerry is going to get the juiciest payoff in the history of Waystar Royco because of Roman's stupidity. And Frank appears to be joining up with Kendall for the reverse Viking plot. For just over 3 seasons, the Succession world revolved around Logan Roy and, for the last 4 episodes, his idiot kids as he called them. But whoever wins the game of Succession in the end is going to do so with the help of a valuable background player. Number 3. Roman is melting down more by the day, which adds great anticipation to what his funeral tribute to Logan might sound like. Jerry nailed him to the wall about the firing in the same way that Joy is likely to, and he failed in his bid to help Menken across the finish line by getting his big brother out of the presidential race. A Menken victory could still strengthen his hand, but that's not going to do anything to help his suppressed grief, and it's not going to reverse Kendall's decision to ace him out of the co-captain's chair at Waystar Royco in the wake of Roman bailing on him at the big presentation. Roman appears to be out of consideration for the top job at the end of the series, as do the next 2 on our list. Number 2, the snake and the scorpion tear into each other's souls. Tom and Shiv spent more than 3.5 seasons keeping their tensions and resentments under the surface, which made the ultimate explosion all the more thrilling. Tom's grievances were from his heart, whereas Shiv appeared to be saying some things simply because she knew that they would hurt him. This may not be remembered as one of the great payoffs in TV history, but maybe it should be, because of the sheer magnitude of the long-time build-up and the cataclysmic fight that ensued. Number 1, Matsson being exposed as a fraud sets up Kendall for the big win, but nothing is ever as obvious as it seems on this show. There are even some theories in the fan base that Matsson and Ebba are putting Kendall on a wild goose chase with a fake scandal, but that seems unlikely. What seems more plausible is that, as we move to the end game of the series, Kendall is becoming the killer that his father was, and that his father said that he wasn't. Rava's reappearance in episode 4.7 that exposed Kendall as being the same crappy absentee father as Logan, his resentful glare when Nate said that he wasn't like Logan, and his growing coldness towards his siblings is showing that Kendall is apparently on a path to succeed if he finishes the process of selling out his own humanity and becoming just like dear old dad. At times, he seemed like one of the only characters that you could root for. Him becoming the big dog at the end, while sacrificing everything that made him sympathetic, could be the grim ending that this series seems to be demanding. Thank you for joining us for this mini episode of the FDH Lounge.